Good. Are you more relaxed? Okay, I do want to talk to you a little bit about the speaker situation. You were standing pretty much right in front of them when you were sure that they would cause an issue, and he could have cared less. Don't assume that they will care more because you're on their back, okay? Most of us get worried about what is he going to do, but in the processes of us doing it, you don't get the patent for that problem. It's been taken over and over and over again, okay? Most of us have done it many times in our life, okay? But we think the horse is going to spook at something because they spooked at it in the past or because it's something that they've never experienced before or whatever. And then we teach them to spook at that thing because we are worried that they will spook at that thing. So we are basically telling them, you should be very afraid of that speaker. You follow me? So I want you to move a little further away from this end. Can you hear me? Am I on or did they turn it off? Is it on? It's on. Okay. And that's on, right, Creaky? Is it on? The speaker? They're talking. They can't. Okay. So at this stage of the game, I don't think he really cares about the speaker. Okay? Did it go off? There it is. I moved it. Okay? I think you're far enough away from it, and he got to stand under. He was standing there for at least 5 minutes. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that yesterday not wanting the speaker during the lesson was not a reasonable request. Okay? It was reasonable because you're away from home, you don't know what he's going to do, so you took one variable out of the picture. But he was super, super good, right? So don't instantly think that something that you are concerned he will be, that he will be afraid of. Does that make sense? Because we train our horses to be afraid of things. Now, if he had gotten reactive when I turned the speaker on, then I would have turned it back off. This morning, it was all echoing in Cricket's ears. For some reason, the two speakers were feeding off of each other. So we turned it off because that would have made me crazy. But you also, the speaker won't hurt you, right? So you want to give him the body language that speaker is like a tree, not a mountain lion. Does that make sense? Okay? But our subconscious is going to want to come in and go, yeah, but it's a weird sound. He might jump sideways, right? And our logic needs to come in and go, actually, it's just a speaker. It's all good. And if he is worried about it, I'm going to move further away from it, and then we're going to gradually get near it. Does that make sense? And that's true for really anything. Let's say he was afraid of the pink muck bucket. I've seen riders convinced their horse will be afraid of a muck bucket because it's pink or red versus black. Okay, well, the horses don't see those colors the same way we do. One of the colors that they're most likely to spook at, actually, is white. Yeah. So pink, they're like, okay. Now, while he's walking, I want you to swing your hips more so that have you ever hula hooped? So your walk seat is like the hula hoop. Or you can do the John Wayne walk, which is kind of what you're doing right now, where you're rocking back and forth. That's fine too. Just don't sit still at the walk, because sitting still is your halt seat, okay? That makes sense? So you don't want to sit still because you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to tell him you don't really want him to walk on, Or you could also send the signal, especially if you sit still and you're tight. It could tell him, there's a mountain lion, okay? So you have to be very aware, even if you are concerned, like yesterday especially, you didn't know what he would be like, right? That was a legitimate, I have no idea what he will do. You and Vicky and Bridget all had kind of the same, well, and even Cricket with her 4-year-old, right? It's like these horses, who knows what they're going to be. Some horses are better inside. Some horses are better outside. The the lighting can be weird, and blah, 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 right? But what you want to do, what I like to do, that works, and this happens, sometimes you get to a showground and there's something near the show arena that your horse is like, Mom, did you see that? That's like really scary, okay? And what I like to do with my horses, I don't believe in forcing the dragon down their throat. When I was a kid, we were told to circle the horse in a little tiny circle right next to whatever it was they were afraid of until they relaxed. Well, that's not a very logical way to talk a horse into relaxing, right? All it really does is make them also afraid of me. Does that make sense? So what I like to do is, if there is a dragon, let's say the pink muck bucket was a dragon, go to the other end of the ring. Hang out down there till your horse relaxes, and then you gradually work your way towards the dragon. And as soon as your horse starts looking at the dragon, I'm talking about their dragon, not our dragon. As soon as he was to look at that pink bucket and go, oh, or whatever, or maybe you look at one of us, or whatever, okay? Then you turn, and that's as far as you go. You let them relax again, and then you start to try to creep a little so that you keep the horse busy with work and with gymnasticizing to the point where they totally forget about the dragon. Or if they still are worried about the dragon, they'll go by it because they trust you enough that they know you're going to take care of them. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I like the long reins, but I don't want them so long that you're almost having to do this, okay? I would rather your hand come out here, or, the long is good, but you don't want them so long that then you have nowhere to go with your hand. It was Bridget that I told to, yeah. Good. Swing your seat even bigger and get your chin and your eyes up and out, looking at the horse, like you're on a trail ride with 5 other horses and you're looking at the horse in front. Yeah. Now he's walking better. Feel it? Good. So you feel more relaxed, less relaxed, about the same as yesterday at the beginning. I would agree. And how do you feel? You look more relaxed. Yeah. Okay. So then if you're ready, let's go ahead and pick up the trot. Good. Right leg on and circle. Maybe between S and R. If you don't want to be right in front of the door yet, that's fine. Right leg on. So your inside leg is going to be a little bit of a security blanket for them, okay? It A, helps them stand up. It B, helps them get supple. And C, it also works as a really good security blanket. Good. Just ignore all the snorting and horting. Just trying to get the dirt out of his nose. Is he used to living outside? Yeah, and he was in a stall last night? No, I took him home. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Good. And then go straight ahead at B, as in boy. And then circle 20 meters at P as in Paul. Right leg on. Look at your train tracks so he knows. If you look a little sooner, then he's going to know you want him to turn. Yeah. Really good. Really nice, huh? And straight ahead. Right leg on. Don't bump, bump, bump. Just hug him with your calf. Hug him with your calf. Give on the right rein a little bit. Straight ahead, and then circle it V, as in victory. Right leg on. Hug him with your calf. Don't bump with your heel. That's a girl. That's it. That's it. Super. Don't overbend his neck. Take a little more outside rein and give on the inside. So he should not have more bend in the neck than he has in his body, okay? And right now his nose is way over to the inside. There, he's straight. Feel it? And then circle again. Really good. Right leg on. Good. Good. Yes. That's it. Nice. Straight ahead. And then I want you to go across the diagonal from MXK. Right leg on. Hug him with your calves. Don't bump with your heel. Push down into your whole foot, not down on your toe. Like you're standing up out of a chair instead of posting in stirrup irons. Keep posting. Easy. Don't let him get quicker. Now balance him with your left leg for the turn. Very nice. Good. Good. And then a 20-meter circle at P, as in Paul. I don't know why I didn't say P as in Peter or P as in peppermint. Yeah, and push him a little bit. Almost think of leg yielding him out on the circle. Feel him falling in a little bit. So just leg yield him out a little bit so he stands up off your left leg a little bit better. That's it. Good. And then circle again when you get to R. Left leg on. And push him out as you turn. Push him out as you turn. Push him out as you turn. Super. Super. Slow your posting down. You're getting a little bit quick. I like that you're posting big, but don't be in a hurry. If we go faster, their stride gets shorter and the moment of suspension gets taken away, okay? So you want to post big, but you want to take your time. So when you come up, the easiest way to do that is when you come up, hesitate before you let yourself come back down. Does that make sense? Good. Good. Look more to the left. I should have known you were going to turn left, okay? And your body language didn't tell me, so it certainly didn't tell him, okay? I want to know, I want to be able to tell from your body language what you have in mind. Does that make sense? Good. And push him off your left leg again. Control your calves more. You're going to see in the video how your calves are going on, off, on, off, on, off. The rising trot is the most difficult place, whatever word is, for us to keep our calf stable, but you really want to think about it and work on getting it that way. Good. Nice. Yeah, and then let's give him a little walk break. Super. Good start. Talk in your alto land. Usually when they get frustrated, when they get backed off, when they get reluctant, when they get resistant, when they get spooky, they either are afraid, don't understand, or are in pain. It is not because they got up on the wrong side of the bed. Okay? They aren't moody like we are just because we get moody, especially women, right? That's not who they are. They're reactive to the moment they're in and they want to feel safe. And if they're in pain, they don't feel safe. It's all about survival, okay, in their minds. That's how their mind, everything is revolving around survival, okay? So everything you do, and so if you want some help? Everything you do needs to help him know that he's safe. That's number one priority of everything you do. Now, I can't help you if you don't wait for me to help you. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. Hello.
Thank you very
Hello, hello.
much.
Good boy. You got a little white hair on your chinny chin chin. Does that make sense? Okay, so everything we do on them, and that goes for a baby that we're first putting our foot in the stirrup to a horse at the Olympics. The venue for the Olympics this year was very daunting to those horses. And some of the best horses in the world had trouble with it. Or pain. And pain brings fear. Because it's all about, they're a prey animal. And there's no other prey-predator relationship that comes close to a human and a horse. Most prey animals do not become best friends with a predator. Doesn't make sense in their instincts, right? Why would they? But because the horse is such a magical critter, they, for some reason, have over the centuries allowed us to do that. But we have to be very mindful of basically what an honor that is, that they're letting us have that relationship with them, right? That they want us to be their partner and their friend. And so when he gets backed off or frustrated or a little grumpy or whatever, the first thing you want to do is analyze, okay, why is he doing this? It's not because he doesn't want to go forward. You hear that phrase all the time. My horse never wants to go. Her thing was all about her. My horse wants to have her head up in the air because she doesn't feel safe. They put their head up in the air when they're not safe. They put their head down when they're relaxed, okay? And if he backs off and doesn't want to go, if you're doing everything perfectly right, then the next question you have to ask is there a reason, is he in pain? Is he hurt? Okay, does he have ulcers? Does he have an injured leg? Does it whatever? And then you also, okay, is there something in this environment that's setting him off? Okay? But the more you ride him as his alpha mare, she's not mean to her unless she feels like they're being stupid enough they're not listening to her. Then she gets mean to make her point. But it's a brief mean. It's not an emotional mean. It's a get mean, okay? But she only does that if they're being stupid enough not to listen to her, okay? From a survival standpoint. She's not mean to them if they're just grazing. She might pin her ears back, but that's not mean. She's just claiming her status, okay? She might be mean to another herd member if they get too close to her foal. She might kick at them because she feels her foal is threatened. Does that make sense? Okay? If you be his alpha mare and say, I'm going to take care of all the dangers in our world. I'm going to keep you safe. I'm going to keep you in a place where you can survive. I'm going to provide for you in every way there is. He will walk through a wall of fire for you. Okay? They literally will get to the point where they will do anything for you if they trust you like they do their alpha mare. And there is nothing cooler with a horse than that. I have done some amazing piafs and passages and Grand Prix tests, and none of them hold up to the horses that I had come to me that had no reason to believe in a human being. And when they gave in to me and said, "You are my hero, what do you want me to do?" I mean, there's nothing like it. Because you do become the hero, because you become the one that rescues them from whatever it was that made them afraid. Whether it be ulcers or an abusive human being. Or allergies. It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they were afraid of a person being abusive. It could be that maybe you had them at a barn, that there was a pack of coyotes that lived on the property, and it made the horse feel afraid for its life 24 hours a day. You follow what I'm saying? Sometimes it's something that weird. We were talking about animal communicators one time, way back when I'm a committee chair for USDF committees, and we had started talking about whether each other believed in animal communicators and experiences with them and everything. And Scott Hassler was actually talking about an incident that happened to Courtney Dye. I don't know if you know who she was one of our top riders, and she's the one that we all wear helmets because she had a very traumatic brain injury. But anyway, she was one of the top riders in the country, and she had a horse that every time he got ridden, he flipped his head. He wouldn't go on he just was miserable, and it was somewhat dangerous because he would flip his head bad enough that you were afraid you were going to get hit in the face. Well, come to find out, she had an animal communicator come, and the animal communicator said he has a headache. And she was like, "Oh, that's helpful." Well, like 2 weeks later, she had to go to the barn at 4 a.m. because she was leaving town. And she walked in the barn, and the fly spray system turned on. And the fly spray spout in his stall wasn't working. They missed, typically. It wasn't working, and it was literally flooding out like a hose onto his head. And while he was eating his breakfast. They fixed the fly spray thing, and the horse was fine. Okay? So it's our responsibility to keep them feeling safe and healthy and sound and comfortable. And when they're acting up, we have to be little detectives to figure out why. And not just go, "Oh, he gets frustrated, and then he just won't go." And just give him a label, but not figure out why. To the point of, is the fly spray system working? I would have never thought to look at that before that happened. Okay? So it can be ulcers can make them very unfun to ride because they're in pain all the time. Right? And confusion, when they don't understand, that causes fear. That's why the don't understand is on the list. Because when they're confused, it makes them afraid. Because they don't know what to do. And if they don't know what to do, they don't know if they will survive. Does that make sense? Okay. Back to the trot. Look up and smile. Yeah. Good. So while you're riding him, you want to be like almost giggly. Well, I whistle, I sing, I talk. Look up and go. Look up and go. Just keep trotting. Don't sit. Post. See, you completely reacted to him there and went, "What's wrong?" Tell him everything is fine. Yeah. Don't you lock up because he locks up, right? This is a good horse for you to watch because they have a lot of similar responses for whatever their histories are, for whatever reason. Good. It could be something that happened to them when they were a foal. Yeah. You don't know. And you might never know. But what you do is you stay steady, Eddie, repeat, the good, to where he starts to trust you more than he's afraid of whatever it was. Does that make sense? It's not that they never forget anything. They have memories that are as good as an elephant. But you can overcome the memory by making his memory of how you take care of him stronger than the other memory. Does that make sense? They don't forget the bad stuff. They don't forget it. But they can overcome it because we give them something stronger to remember. So when he gets a little sticky and a little backed off, you just keep going and get looser. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit. Yeah, not fast. Everything slow. Good. Fast to horses means trouble, right? Slow means relaxed. Good. Don't take your right hand towards your knee. Why are you getting on? Are you just going to walk, right? Yeah. Good. Good answer. I don't want to tell one more person to not ride for 15 minutes before your ride time. Good. Beautiful trot, huh? La, la, la. Yeah. Super. Really good. And you got to really be good with the good boys that and then he's like, she loves me. She was so proud of me. And they don't forget when we reward them and make a big deal. We make too big of a deal of when it's not going well, and then we don't make anything out of when it is going well. And then they have no reward, and then why should they do it again? Oh, that was so good, let's do it 5 more times. That's not a reward, right? Yes. If you have an amazing warm-up, not when you're in an expensive clinic ride, but if you're having an amazing warm-up like you are right now, 10 minutes. Get off and put him away and tell him he's amazing, right? Yeah, and change direction. Hands closer together. Think about that stick shift in neutral. Left leg on. Yeah, super. Look up. So when you're riding by yourself, I talk to myself, especially when I was riding a lot of youngsters and a lot of bad horses. Oh, he's so rank. That was the word we used to use, rank horses. I talked all the time because it kept me breathing, and it helped, and it was like I had an instructor there, right? Listen to my inside leg. That not only tells the horse to, it also reminds me to use my inside leg. Good. I've got you, buddy. Listen to my aids. Stick with me. Slow down. Whatever. You follow me? Yeah, super. This is lovely. Feel it? Huh? What? Good. Super. What are you looking for?
The box for that. I didn't remember.
That's it. Beautiful.
Hey, Meg,
Got it?
did you turn the heater back on?
Starting to feel it? He's totally fine going forward when he feels safe. Now turn on the quarter line. The biggest mistake we make is we assume that they think like an adult human being. If anybody, love you, keep in touch, okay? Anybody in this room that's ridden a horse that says they've never done that is lying. Mm-hmm. We've all done it to them. Oh my God, when I was a teenager, if only I'd understood this. Yes. And now turn on the next quarter line and leg yield a few strides. If he gets a little nervous, you put him on a circle, okay? If he's like, this is cool, keep going. Relax your elbows by your side. Yes. Beautiful. Super. Good. Now a serpentine of 4 loops. They're 15-meter half circles, so turn a little bit before V and P. They're at 18 meters. And then you're going to ride straight across from B to E. Look up to the left. Look where you're going. Keep driving the car. If your car acts funny, do you take your foot off the gas pedal? Okie dokie. Ah, super. Look left.
Yes, turn on the quarter line. What a handsome man. What a handsome man. Feel it? And leg yield to the right. You should be proud of both of you. Okay? It's teamwork. You want to be dancers. You want to be Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. That's your goal. Even if you don't like dancing, they're mesmerizing to watch, right? Yeah. Look up. Yeah, I had to come up with some younger people for some. Who?
I know.
When they didn't know John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John from Grease and Patrick Swayze, and I can't remember the actress's name from Dirty Dancing. I was like, oh my God, I don't know any young enough people. Ooh. Feel it? Now you know why I like 4-loop serpentines? Because it changes the direction and works on suppleness at the same time instead of going across a diagonal. So you can get more suppling done while you're changing direction. Yeah, don't keep his nose to the right. Soften your right hand. Yes. Really good. Give him a break. Dressage is very, very, very simple. But it's not always easy. The problem is humans, when something is difficult, we like to make it more complicated because then we have a reason for not being successful. But dressage is it had to be simple. It was designed for taking the horse into battle. The rider had to focus on their enemy. They didn't have time to focus on the horse. It had to be simple. Okay? But it also took a ton of training so that horse was, think about that. They had to be so in tune to the rider that the rider could be focused on their enemy and not have to be worried about the horse, that the horse is doing its job. Okay? That's where dressage came from. That's more complicated than doubles figure skating, right? I mean, I can't go to Scott Hamilton and go, hey, Scott, I want to go to the Olympics this winter. Make me do it. But we do that to Grand Prix horses all the time in this sport. We expect a Grand Prix horse to be able to take me Grand Prix today when I've never even done second level. You wouldn't expect that out of a bicycle, would you? Just because I buy a really expensive 10-speed doesn't mean I'm ready for the Tour de France, right? But we do it to the horses all the time. Oh, he gets so backed off. Oh, he won't relax into the bridle. Okay, let's figure out why instead of just labeling our horse. Because there's always a reason. And it's 99.999999999% of the time, not because they just don't want to. They don't want to because something hurts, something scares them, or they don't understand. Comes back to the same 3 things. They could be afraid of something happening again that happened to them in their past. It's not necessarily a fear of the moment. The moment is making them afraid of something that has of a reoccurrence. When horses have had chronic pain, it can take a very long time for them to trust that pain is not going to slam them again, especially like horses that have ulcers, because their ulcers for horses are incredibly painful, and usually we don't pick up on it very quickly. When I knew my horse had ulcers, I was flying across the arena from center line and landed on the kickboards. And as I was flying through the air, I was like, oh, my suspicion was right. He had massive ulcers. And he likes to get so behind my leg. That's what I said about that horse until that day. And then I was like, well, no wonder he hurt. I was probably the first real wide opener to me of this concept.
I don't know if that speaker's working anymore.
Is it working? I didn't have a clue. Oh, he didn't care, did he? Ha ha. Da da, 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 da. I love it when the horses make my point. All right. Let's look at a little tiny bit of canter. Look up. Move your seat. You stopped moving your seat when you went to pick the reins up. So you basically told him to halt. And then you could, 3 days ago, you would have gone, he stopped on me. But not today, because you went, oopsie, right? So when he gives the wrong answer, I asked the wrong question, I asked the question wrong, or I didn't ask anything. Okay? It's not because they're just belligerent. They're not like us. They're much kinder. Okay, and pick up the trot, look up and go. Smile and go. Go with your seat. Yeah. Good, go. Trot on. Don't bang him with your heel every stride. If I poked you in your shoulder every stride this entire ride, would you pay your bill? Begrudgingly, right? Don't bang on his side. Yeah. Now on a circle canter when you're ready. Such a cute horse, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Good. Sit up. Sit tall. Sit really tall. Good. Sit really tall. Make your circle a true 20-meter circle, not an 18-meter oval. That looks like an oval. He's out of balance, so he's grumpy. And trot. Make a 20-meter circle. It means you have to come 2 meters this side of P and V. Know your geometry. That's your job, not his. Thought he was done. And canter. With your seat. Not banging on him with your heel. Look up to the left and go. Yeah. There. Good. Look up. Look up. Look up. Super. And relax into the trot. Let everything go into the trot. Super. No reins, huh? I like it. Cross the diagonal and change the rein. Look up. Let your body stay really relaxed. That's really pretty. I never get to finish the good sentences because I get too excited. Good. Yes. What a rock star, huh? I think your next paper is going to look a little different than the one you sent this week. And canter. That's a beautiful trot.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful. Give. Trot. Don't pull his nose to the right. Walk. Halt. Get off. And make the biggest deal.
No. Oh, good boy.
Makes you want to cry, doesn't it?
Oh, God. Oh.
Isn't that the magic of what this is all about?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can help each other with that, okay? When we make them feel safe, it makes us feel safe. Right? This is a really good lesson for you to watch. This is what you and your horse need to be able to do together. And you can do it. You have a very, very special horse.
I know.
And she loves you. You can tell. Does that help? You're very welcome. This is why I teach for rides like this. And I want you to take that video. You're going to watch the whole lesson. But then what I want you to do is I want you to make like a 30, 45-second clip from today of all the really good, and maybe the very last circle is the clip with the ending when you got off. And every day before you get on, you're going to watch that clip before you get on. Okay? Your mind does not know the difference between when you're watching it and you're actually doing it. That's proven science. Okay? She knows that. That young lady right behind you knows that really well. She gets hardly any help. Any help And she's gone from when I met her 2 years ago, and I'm not trying to put too much fluff in your head, kiddo, but she's gone from 2 years ago, not understanding how to get a horse on the bit very well, to now she has taken this youngster. Nobody was ever on his back. Nobody'd ever lunged him. And she's done all of it. And she's done it way better than most young horse riders in this